Friday, October 5th, 7:18 a.m. I'm at my uncle's house in Victoria. First writing assignment. And I think this book is way more triggering than I expected, at least this part. Just remind myself that doing this, writing this, reliving this is so that someone else doesn't have to. You just don't realize how hard things are when you're in it, and then we write a book about it. I'm sitting here by the light of the Christmas tree. Tonight I have a FaceTime with my editor at 8 p.m. and like including none of that in Vlogmas. I did some writing totally covertly at my sister's house over Christmas with like my niece sitting beside me. There's still only like maybe like 4 or 5 people who know. It's all in here, and now I just need to shoot it out my little fingers onto the keyboard. I'm about to do something that I have been dreading and putting off, and quite honestly, I am terrified to do. In these 7 books lays my journals. I'm also feeling really vulnerable because today I've written 2 different sections. I wrote 1,400 words this morning before I took Thomas to the walk-in and revealed something that I've never talked about before. And now this is definitely something I've never spoken about publicly. There's probably only about a dozen people who know what I'm talking about here. Hardest thing I've ever done. Professionally, not personally, not even close, but professionally. I know, it's kind of a big secret that I've been keeping from you for so long. Please don't be mad. But yes, I am here to tell you that I've written a book. What? I know. So every time I was vlogging and I was saying I was working, yeah, I was working, but there was a lot of times when I couldn't tell you that I was actually working on my very first book. And here, I don't have the actual book yet. We're not that far along, but I have picked up the first draft manuscript. What? Yeah, This is it. It's happened. Look at all of these words I've written. I've wanted to tell you this for so long, but I had to keep it a secret, basically to make sure that I was actually gonna follow through and do it. Like I said earlier in the video, this is by far the hardest thing I've ever done professionally, and it's taking much longer than I thought it would because I've had to take breaks. My editor has been so gracious and so supportive and patient with me. I had to like go back to therapy at one point. So yes, I've written a book. Yes, it's gonna be out this year, later this year. When I first thought about how I would tell you, I thought I was just going to say, surprise, the new Mare Reads Book Club pick is my book. But I decided I would really like to have you follow along in the process. So now that we're at the first draft of the manuscript phase, I feel like it's good to bring you in and show you now what it's like to edit the manuscript. I think we're gonna have multiple drafts and multiple versions of the book before it comes to be what it is going to be, and I wanted to be able to show you how I choose the title and the photo shoot that, you know, we're gonna need to do, and the graphic designing and all of the things that come along with it. Perhaps a book tour later this year. But I can't even tell you, I feel like this is maybe the most exciting video I've ever filmed. Feels so good. And my poor editor Simone and I basically just text each other because not even a lot of people in my life or her life know that we've been working on this. So I'm not gonna share too much about the book yet. It doesn't have a title yet. We have a few working titles. Right now, Simone and I just lovingly refer to it as, it's a book, yo. And I can tell you that it is part memoir and part self-improvement. So what I will be doing is giving you a ton of takeaway. I really want you to walk away from reading this book like inspired and empowered, very similar to the vein of the content here on the Mareathon and all of my social media and everything that I do. So I'll be sharing with you stories that I've never shared before. Yes, even though I have like over 1,000 videos on YouTube, there are plenty of stories that I've never shared, and they make me very uncomfortable because even some of my family doesn't know some of these stories, but they'll be in the book. So even if you followed me for so many years, first of all, thank you. And second of all, there'll be lots of fresh content in the book. So that's it basically. Oh, I also wanted to tell you that my editor Simone is a marathoner, and I thought I would quickly tell you the story of how the book started. It's something that I've been wanting to do for years and years, and as I was journaling, especially in the last 4 years, I kept thinking, this will be fodder for a book sometime. This will be like, I know I'm gonna write a book. And then I posted something in the Marathoner Facebook group last summer, and Simone emailed me and was like, I saw your post. There's a book inside of you and I want to help you with it. So Thomas and I met her for lunch, and I was like, okay, here we go. And literally that's it. So her name is Simone Blaze. I'm going to link her website down below. Simone, it feels so good that we can talk about it now and like tell people. Poor Simone's just been like, yeah, I'm working on a book for someone and I can't tell you who because, you know, we wanted to keep it a bit of a secret. It feels so good. Even when this got printed, the person who printed it was like, hey, I know Mare. We're like, oh my God, we need to announce it. This needs to happen. So far it's just Untitled Draft 2, but that is 40,000 words of a book that this year will be released. Now I can just relax about it. I only told the majority of my family like 2 days ago, so you feel like you've been in the dark. Most people have, don't worry. Lots of vlogs to come about the book and about the process. I'll tell you when it's ready for pre-order. I'll tell you how you can buy it and where you can buy it, and I'm sure there'll be more clapping as I've done a lot in this video. The first thing my brother asked me was like, are you gonna record an audiobook for Audible? It's like, obviously. So that's it. Whew. I feel like we just birthed something. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Without you, this book would definitely not exist. Your support, that just makes me know that you're going to get so much out of it, that you're gonna be just as excited as I am. I'm sure you're like screaming at your phone watching this video, as I'm sure I will be as well. So thank you for being a marathoner. Thank you for sticking with me for so many years, whether you found me on the radio, whether you just randomly searched something and my content speaks to you, whether we've met in person, whether we are going to meet in person one day. I just cannot thank you enough. And that's it. Life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being as excited as I am. I promise from now on, I'll be honest with you about all things book related, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.